you how you can understand your hiring funnel with your Airtable data. So we're here on a page that you are most probably on. So what I'm going to assume is that you downloaded this template that Airtable proposes, where you have a hiring funnel. Just click here, then you have it arrived in your Airtable. Show you. I have it here, so I just click on it. And then it looks that way. You only have 3 entries, but the idea is that here people have 2 kind of interviews, phone interviews and on-site interviews. And for each kind of interview, they review the candidate with different scores from 0 to 4. And you have the date of the interview here. And what we want to do is to have a little dashboard where you have for each week of interview, the scores of candidates, how many number 3, like 3 score candidates you have, how many 4 level candidates you have, etc. So here we are. That's the detailed tutorial. I invite you to look at that video to see how to import that table into your Actiondesk sheet. I already did it. So here it is. That's the table that we're seeing in Airtable. And what I invite you to do is to go on the next steps. So number 2, what we want to do is add a calculated column called phone interview week so that it can return the week of the phone interview with the format year week. So let's go. I have it here. I just want to point out that why we want to use a calculated column is that we just have to put the formula in the first row, and that it uses the formula of all the other rows. Whenever you add a new candidate, it will be applied there. So it's super convenient. So as you can see, what we want is to have the year from the phone interview column, then the week number of the phone interview column, and we'll separate it with an underscore. So let's do that. Phone interview date here. Then we'll end the underscore and the week number of the phone interview. That's it. So we have the weeks. Now I propose you to do the same thing with on-site interviews. We'll have the on-site interview week. Exactly the same thing. Oops, sorry. So the year of the on-site interview and underscore and the week number of the on-site interview. Here it is. So you have it here. Perfect. And now what we want to have is a new sheet where we'll build our pipeline report. So let's add a sheet. I already did it, so it's here. What we want to do is to add those columns and these rows. You have it here. In B3, you write number of phone interviews. Then in B4 to B8, you write the 5 different scores. And so it's what we have here, number of phone interviews and the 5 different scores. And then here in C2, D2, and E2, you write the list of weeks you want the data for with this format. So I chose those ones, those weeks. Here it is. Now that we have the framework for a dashboard, what we're interested in is to fill it with the data. So what we're going to do first is to use a COUNTIF to get the phone interview week. So here it is. that corresponds to the column. And then I'll paste the formula. So here it is. And now we want to do a count if on the week and the score of the candidates. So it's a count ifs that time. That's for the week, and then we'll do it for the phone interview result, which is here. So we want to count how many people who had been interviewed that week got that score. And that's 0. So now I want to extend that formula to the whole table. The thing is that I have to fix some of the data, so I always want to use that and always want to use that. Hit it, now paste it. And that's it. So here are my results. So I mostly had great candidates here. And now if you want to do it with that was the phone interviews, you can have exactly the same one here with the on-site interviews and update the formulas so that instead of choosing the phone interviews here, the phone interviews results and the phone interview week, you choose the on-site interview, week and the on-site interview results. And you'll have a comparison of both. And you have a nice pipeline with your Airtable data.